Da, 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 da,
Are you on, yeah?
Yep.
Just want to get the sound first. Now, let's hear it. Hello.
Good evening, all. From the your online daily sing song for the soul with Meitheal Ceol. The sing song for the Ceol for the soul with Meitheal Ceol.
Salve for the soul. It's salve for the soul. Okay.
Anyway, another nice evening. We'd probably tell you it was nice even if it wasn't.
It's
but
gorgeous evening now.
but it's nice
Beautiful,
now. Not that it was
beautiful.
nice all day, but anyway, it was nice
Oh,
now.
it's nice to have a bit of warmth.
Here in Wild West Donegal and the Wild Atlantic Way, and
Yeah. John Coyle, you get the gold medal tonight. Yourself and Kathy Anderson will get the silver. And then you're here first. Then there's Paul Flaherty from Cork. And there's Teresa Laverty from Ballybuffet. Kathy from Ballybuffet. John from up the road. Hope you're all well. And you're welcome here this evening. Raoul is here again. Raoul. You're welcome.
what happened to my screen? Anyway.
Anyway,
Welcome everybody. Just where are we here? Dum 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 dum. Apologies here as I scroll across the screen looking for an app that actually works. But there's the camera app on my hi Raoul. Now we sang here. We didn't sing
sang Streets of
London.
London last night. We
I
did.
don't think we did, did we?
We did. Yes, we did.
Anyway, I think Raoul likes Ride On. We should go for that.
Yeah,
as well.
we'll do that.
So anyway, welcome again once more.
We might do Ride On when there are a few more people here.
Yeah.
David Kelly is a new person with us. I sent him the instructions today as to how to get on here and how to.
So hi Brian Moe, and I wasn't aware that you were a friend of Sean Lawless's, so he gave us he told us all the dirt on you, so we know all about you now. We know who's watching. All right.
So back to Dave
Ray
Kelly
Bourne.
then.
Sorry
Okay,
guys, sorry.
Yeah, I was rudely interrupted again. So Dave Kelly, he wants to know how to get the books, and I gave him instructions today as to how to join us, and you're very welcome, Dave.
So Dave, it'd be good if you let us know that the sequence that Mary mentioned to you about getting the book. So if you want to get the book, just on the Meitheal Ceol Facebook page, click on view the group, apply to join the group, and then we just approve it. And within the group then, the top preserved posts or fixed posts show you how to download the PDF. So there's essentially we sing out of 2 songbooks, and what Meitheal Ceol is a sing-along session to try and emulate what would be like singing together. And really the whole essence of this is participation. Just move yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, there was another guy as well who asked to be approved. He was at the same time as yourself, and I was wondering if he's related to you, because his name is Damien Kelly, and he should be with us there this evening as well.
So essentially, just to show you guys, you haven't been here before, what we do is we share the music on a screen with you, typically. So the 2 songbook, so everything you're looking at here is the screen capture of my iPad as we're playing along, and the essence of the exercise is for us to be able to, we played that last night, Only Our Rivers Run Free in reverse or in night mode. We just put that up on the screen so you can see the chords and the lyrics as we're singing along.
Ray Atchison is here, and Joe Kane, and
so hello once again, guys. So the songs that Mary has set you again, what Mary does every day during the day, she posts a guide of songs that we might look at for the evening.
We may do some of these. So they are already one. Black is the colour. Good Ship Kangaroo. I Wish I Was in England. The Cottager's Reply. So I've been doing a little bit of research into that, and it's very interesting, the background of the Cottager's Reply. The Dutchman, although I was thinking maybe instead of that we might do the German Clockwinder for Natalie. You Are My Sunshine, a special request for that this evening. In My Father's House, Love's Been Good to Me, and we also have a birthday at 8 o'clock. And then we have our 3 learning songs, which are Fiddler's Green, Fields of Gold, and Galway Girl.
Okay, so typically, guys, at 7:30 every evening, we do treat specific songs, which we do in a number of evenings, one after the other, to facilitate the idea of learning both the songs and the lyrics and whatever. So whether you're an expert player, I hope if you are, you'll just enjoy playing along and singing along in the spirit of camaraderie. I just see Dave Kelly there mention your son is Damien.
Yeah.
So Damien, if you're out there, if you have a mandolin,
You're welcome.
I'm not sure whether you play chords or pick songs on a mandolin or whatever. The chords, as you'll see in front of you when you see them on the screen, will apply equally to any instrument. Yes, we use a capo, and you can use a capo and a mandolin if you want, but equally I have a mandolin and I tend to play it by ear, and I can pick songs quite well, not so good in playing chords with them. But the great thing about it is with these, you can play along there, and we can't hear you. Everybody else except us can hear us singing and play along in real time. But it gives you the freedom to experiment yourselves and either playing along with the chords or picking melodies or doing harmonies or whatever. But the hope that we have is that people will join in.
So Sheila McMahon is here from Dundalk. She's only going to be here for a short while because then she's going to go to the ukulele jam. Nancy is here from Nashville. Hello, Nancy and Chuck. And then we have, that's my son, Anya New York from a wet and windy London. So you're all very welcome here. Michelle Coughlin is with us again. So what are we going to start with?
So we will start with a song called I Wish I Was in England.
Yeah.
I just want to say to you that again, we bring version 101 to the table tonight. So I've been experimenting. One of the things you might notice from before is when I expand the words to fill as much of the screen as I can, which facilitates Mary and eyesight issues, plus everybody, and also the larger the text is on the screen, the easier it is for everybody out there to follow along and read along. Now, I have to stop during the song to wind things up. And a problem that causes is where where we have a chorus that I have to keep moving up and down. So today I finally got around to starting the process of repurposing the book, which I call a projection copy. So just show you two versions of this, what it looks like. There's the song, just bear with me for a moment. There's the song Arthur McBride. Now, I just compare that to, for example, what it looks like in the original version. And I have literally rolled how much of it I've done Arthur McBride. So that's the original version, as you can see. Seems a lot more compressed, and that's as much as I can get on the screen. And then you can see Corporal Vamp, he's missing at the side there. So what I've been playing around with now, this is very much, it's with this version here. And you can see there I can get a lot more, I can expand it a lot more. The songs, and then there's a lot more of this going on.
Super, yeah.
On the other hand, now Mary hasn't seen this before, so literally I didn't get a chance to show this to her earlier. But particularly songs where there's, and again, if you're new here, guys, just bear with me because those are there. Songs that have, there's a song there, All the Lies You Told Me, which starts off with a chorus, then it goes into a verse, then it goes to a bridge, and then a verse, and then a bridge again, and then a verse. So I hope that I won't have to scoot up and down as I normally do. So this is a work in progress, and by definition it changes all the page numbers. So the way in which the book, because again for you guys, you download the PDFs, and I'd like you to know those Kellys there, if you have it, let me know that you've got it. But the whole thing is that it's all hyperlinked, so that you can pop around. So for example, in All Around My Hat, it's around all my hats around here. Before now, I'd go up here and I'd have to go up and down to catch chorus, etc.
Yeah.
So I think that there's an improvement in that. So I don't have good, as you'll see. Sorry, when I look at this, Good Ship Kangaroo, I have to go through them sequentially. Look at, there's 26,000 chords in this thing. So and the last thing I can afford to do is lose synchronicity with the stuff. So the song we're thinking is I Wish I Was in England. I've only got up to the C's at the moment. So when we look, I would be interested in people's feedback about how this experience is. Some people mightn't notice the difference, but for example, when it comes to that song I Wish I Was in England, you'll see the third line, or wherever dwells my own true love. That that stretches out to the right hand side. So I intend at my own true love to roll that onto the next line and keep the pipe very narrow. So you will see in the earlier songs it'll be like that. Anyway,
So
the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to be doing this for a length of time, and I just want the experience to be as rich as it can.
Richard Wood, you are welcome from Germantown in upstate New York.
And Nancy, hi everybody there. So we'll get going with a song first, and we'll come back with some more chat and crack and whatever afterwards. First timers here, we'll be delighted that you get the idea of that. The whole encouragement is for you to sing along rather than concern yourself with how we're performing. It's not about us, it's really about sharing the music, alright? So we're playing this open. I wish I was in England, in France or even in Spain, wherever dwells my own true love, for to hold her near again. Wherever dwells my own true love, for to hold her near again. All time I've been around in country and in town, but never in me wandering head to make of such a renown. Never in me wandering head to make of such renown. Oh, until I met me true love on the slopes of Knocknageesheen, her brown hair in the howling wind, a blowing wild and free. Her brown hair in the howling wind, a blowing wild and free. Oh, me own true love, she did promise me some land with rambling kine, and on her ample pasture a land for to build me a mansion fine, and on her ample pasture a land for to build me a mansion fine. But then me love she left me, she wandered far away, and I've been searching for my love for many a night and day. And I've been searching for my love for many a night and day. Oh, I wish I was in England or wherever she might be, that I could go and call her love, together we might be. That I could go and call my love, together we would be. And again, for newcomers there like David and Damien Kelly, each song on the PDF and in the physical book has a link to a hyperlink to a YouTube videos where somebody's playing that song. So out of the 500 songs in the two books, you may well find that there are songs that you're not familiar with.
Nigel and Vivian.
And all the more reason then to be able to look them up by clicking the YouTube video and familiarising yourself with them. They're from all sorts of genres.
Thomas McKinley.
So how are you, Thomas and Fergus?
Lucia, you're welcome from Meitheal. Fergus from Drummondine. I would love to hear Remember Me.
So I'm just noting that down, Remember Me, Fergus. And again, I'm delighted. Look at the books there are 500 songs or so in them. And it serves the whole process that we're involved in, which is a collaborative process here. If people suggest songs that we can sing. So there's a lovely song. Yeah. Now, all the songs don't necessarily like us and we might botch them, etc. But what we've decided is anytime we botch songs, we just note them down and say, look, let us try and improve in those, because this whole process is beneficial to us.
Sheila McMahon said, I thought you were playing Only Our Rivers Run Free. Sheila, you played that last night with your spoons, didn't you?
No,
did you say we were going to do that tonight?
It turned up on the screen there, Sheila, when I opened it up first, all right?
Tommy Roddy is here. Tommy Roddy, you're welcome to Meitheal Ceol. Not sure where you're from, Tommy.
So we encourage you to communicate in with everybody else who's here. I mean, this is all like what has happened. We've been doing this every single evening from the 17th of March on, and we expect and plan to do this for as long as the COVID incarceration process remains so, and to take advantage of the opportunity rather than suffer from the indignity of incarceration, to turn this into a bit of a fun space, bit of a learning space, a bit of a sharing space, and a bit of communication. As we've met through this process, we've come in contact with lots of people at different parts of the world, from the Pacific coast of the States right through to Germany and through France and England and all over around Ireland. So it's wonderful experience. Another thing we really like and value is through the commentary. If you mention to us song associations, etc.
Well, we have Nancy wants to know, Nancy in Nashville, Nancy Coles, have we ever done Raglan Road? We have a number of times, but we'll do it again. If not,
yeah, so I'll just stick that down there as well. Yeah, I mean, we're delighted. Mary just puts up the the indication of what we'll do, really to just guide us along. So we'll sing the Dutchman next on page 359.
So Louis Brown is here as well from Suffolk, and Margaret Brown from Navan.
Of course, it won't be there.
Perhaps you're related
Sorry,
to
I'll have to find
one
it.
has an E and the other doesn't. Margaret says that she really thoroughly enjoys what we're doing, and she plays the guitar along, and she plays the guitar and sings along with us every night. So Margaret,
Excellent.
You're welcome again. Louis, you're welcome too. Nigel says we have sunburn on our goose pimples with today's weather. Sunburn on our goose pimples.
Sunburn on a goose pimples.
Yeah.
Well,
You're playing that on 2.
I'm just trying to find out what we'll play it on, but we're going to play the Dutchman. It's on Friday. So just to say to you that because of the work that I'm doing and repurposing the presentation of this, now this doesn't look any different on the pages at the beginning. This doesn't look any different than it did before, because I've only got up to, it's done on an A to Z. I've only worked my way up to the C's at the moment. But it will completely modify the positioning of the pages vis-a-vis the printed copy or the PDFs that you have downloaded. Doesn't concern anybody because we just work off the screen. So I'm not sure if I normally play this open or not. Again, if you open up the page, you might note it on this, because these are not songs that we've noted. So I think we're going to try and play it up in position 2. Well, I don't know, because it's on 359 in that book. So I mean, what we're trying to do is get a measure of what fret position we played in as we played them, because
we're nearly there. 359.
Dutchman's not the kind.
So there's nothing here.
Right, 2. We'll see. We'll play it in 2 and we'll see.
We'll write that in again afterwards, yeah.
Right. So capo in position 2. The chords you see in front of you. The Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. But that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam lies golden in the morning, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes she sees the unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyderzee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals, calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain, till Margaret comes to bring him home again through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes she thinks that he's alone and calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyderzee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Windmills twirl the winter in, she winds his muffler tighter. They sit in their kitchen, while tea with whiskey keeps away the Jew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name, she makes his bed a humming song, oh love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Lovely, lovely, lovely song. Again, my memory of that is Tommy Makem singing that Dutchman. Also, Liam Clancy separately singing. It's an absolutely fabulous, beautiful, beautiful song.
One of my favourites is Margaret Brown in Navan.
So again, for those who are new here, hopefully you'll download the book. Not so much just for now, because all the chords will be in front of you as we're playing now.
Have we a pencil? Pencil there?
I love me bottled water, me fizzy water, I have to say. But again, if you like these songs, our encouragement to people is, I remember someone a number of years ago rang me, a younger man, he was getting married, and a week before his wedding he rang me to say, God, I've got this, found this brilliant song, never heard it before, the Dutchman. And I realised that's one of the realities of generations. He was rediscovering magic music from another time, and it was just beautiful to see his excitement with the song that he wanted to play at his wedding. So that was a lovely feeling, you know. So
Sir Paul Flaherty, he said, I've shared the stream. Nigel O'Mahony, he says, love this song, perfect tempo for the sentiments.
Yeah, gorgeous. I mean, you know, that line in the last verse, I think, you know, windmills twirl the winter in, she winds his muffler tighter, they sit in their kitchen, while tea with whiskey keeps away the Jew. It certainly throws up images of cold Irish winter sitting, but wet wintry days sitting by the fire. Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Wet and windy in London, not here.
So what we're going to do is, maybe as part of the experiment, let's just go to the first part of the book. Oh yeah, actually we'll sing a song called The Foxy Devil, and the reason being because Mary came across this picture today. Look at this picture here. So somebody had sent it somewhere on Facebook or something, but this is a picture of Grafton Street in Ireland. So for you who are not from Ireland or familiar, Dublin is obviously capital of Ireland, and Grafton Street would be the the major shopping street, the highbrow shopping street we might call it. So on any normal day, Grafton Street would be absolutely jam-packed, as we'd call it in Ireland. And this is actually just a screen capture from a video, so it's not that you can see this little animal, but this is a fox, okay, walking down one of the central streets in Ireland, which over the last number of years, it just made me think that none of those shops have been open for business for probably the last 5 weeks or so. So the fox can wander around at his or her heart's content. Isn't it really interesting, nature coming back in? It's like Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London. So that put me in mind of that beautiful song that we have called the Foxy Devil.
Yeah,
So,
Louis Brown as well, he just sent a picture there earlier of a fox in his back garden. Fine. I don't know if he can post it on here just to show us, yeah.
no, I mean, again, if one thought, I'm very pleased and delighted to try and do stuff like this, but it has to be mediated in through my iPad. So you can see anything I can see on my iPad. So if Mary sends me something on Facebook Messenger, I just save it onto my local device and I can roll it up on the screen here. So I mean, we're working within constraints, guys, and we got to bear that in mind. But within that, so this, and then I suppose in testimony to that, Fox, and just the interesting changes in nature that have taken place over a very short period of time. You can imagine if we let it all go for 200 or 300 years, how everything in the world would return to jungle again. Isn't that interesting? So you don't want to get a 300-year mortgage, whatever else you do.
This is what somebody here said. The Fox has moved up market. Last week he was down on the Halfpenny Bridge and in Henry Street. So yes, Grafton Street, guys, is up market. Everything is more expensive up there.
Yeah, we were thinking he might be pulled in for his coat.
The Dutchman has special memories for me. My late brother Alan used to play with Ceoltas in Carrigaline and Cork. I used to join them when I came home from Africa, and the Dutchman was my party piece. That's Fergus in Drummondine, okay?
Lovely. And,
okay, we're delighted to do that. Maybe we can do that as a learning song one of the days. Yeah.
But it's nice again, I suppose. Yesterday a lovely chat with Sean Lawless, and we were talking about some of the association that these sort of songs throw up. So I think really one of the great things about the time that we're in is we do have time to, no point looking back when it's all over, guys, you know. Right, so we'll play this open. When I was young and handy in my prime, in taverns I would sit and bide my time. It's there I met your company, I'd sit and drink my fill. It's there that you took hold of me, I think you've got me still. Oh, you're the foxy devil when you lie. You set my mind at ease and then you strike. You set my head a-reeling, you make me shout and sing. My memory flees, I get no ease, I've had a little to drink. You're the crafty rogue, and that's for sure. From your company there is no cure. Oh, I've squandered all my money and the best years of my life, all on your charms in spite of harm, in spite of peace and strife. Whiskey in the morning or at night gives strength to sing and dance, to love and fight. And so despite misfortune, I'll take you as you are, the best of friends and enemy, the best I've known by far. Oh, you're the foxy devil when you lie. You set my mind at ease and then you strike. Now you set my head a-reeling, you make me shout and sing. My memory frees, I get no ease, I've had a little to drink.
Do the last one again, it's lovely. This is my favourite verse.
Which?
Crap. Whiskey in the morning, Harry.
But this is an add-on.
This is an add-on. This is my favourite verse.
Whiskey in the morning or at night gives strength to sing and dance, to love and fight. And so, despite misfortune, I'll take you as you are, the best of friends and enemy, the best I've known by far.
And Love that verse.
Whiskey in the morning or at night gives strength to sing and dance, to love and fight.
Maria Fordham is here from Bedford.
What a combination of emotions and activities that,
Hello, Maria from Bedford.
So again, I'm mindful. Thanks, Sheila McMahon, for being with us for a while. Just to say that someone who comes on here on a regular basis, Patricia Prenti, she leads a ukulele jam session regularly. Typically it starts at 7:30, a couple of times a week she does it, and Antoinette Rodriguez in Sacramento or whatever it is over in the States. They run and they run them through the Zoom medium, so it's different insofar as same idea that someone plays and everybody else follows along, but in between the songs then they switch on the microphones and screens and people tend to have a chat. So both fantastic experience. If somebody particularly wants to check into those, just look out for Patricia anytime she's here and make a direct link across to her, and or an Antoinette. I'm sure they'd be delighted to have other people join in. Again, I'm hoping that you're out there and you're liking and enjoying the songs. We're going to go into the part of the evening where we do our 3 regular songs. The songs we're going to do are Fiddler's Green, Fields of Gold, Galway Girl. I think this might be our 4th night doing them. We might do them one other night.
Before we do that, David Kelly from Dublin says, great song, that's the Foxy Devil, never heard it before.
Well, that's the other thing, David. I'd like to think that because of the way in which many of the songs came to go into this book, and just say if you haven't been with us before, the books look. I'll just show you what they look like. I think probably have to go to albums or something, but that's exactly that's what the 2 physical books look like. They weigh about 1.5 kilos and 1 kilo. They're quite heavy books. They're big A4 size books with a fabulous binding on them and lovely big 16-point font, very
hard
accessible,
copy,
lovely to
hard
hold in
copy.
the hand. They're all
Hardcover.
Oh yeah, but they're very very lasting, etc. So the point is that Mary asked me that somebody had asked could they buy some copies of the book, and we have a print run. We just got a print run done at Christmas, so we have a number of books still left. But we've reckoned in this modern era that that's really the methodology of posting and packing stuff around, and that's why we've gone out of our way to put this book as a PDF freely available up on the Meitheal Ceol music group, so that you can have that. I don't think they're competing issues, by the way. I think anybody who has the book out there who might confirm whether the magic of having a physical book that you can there's the books there. That's Mary has them there and she used them for reference, and of course you're not concerned with lighting levels. Like if you have a tablet as I'm using, if you're trying to use it in a bright environment, it's pretty useless, etc. But each to his own.
Actually, Breege McLaughlin.
So the first song we're going to do is in our practice session is Fiddler's Green, which we've been doing for the last number of nights, and it's on. I think we've had it in capo position 3. Now again, I'll have to use another medium. So the way I get the song is the best way of learning. You just go back through the A to Z section at the front, look for it in an A to Z basis, and click on that, and it hyperlinks across. So when I'm finished reprocessing this, the song will appear narrower and twice as long. And we won't have to do this like I'm doing, that I will have to do tonight, because the chorus only appears once because I had to fit it into one physical page. But in the soft version we're moving into now, the number of pages in the book are irrelevant, and it doesn't matter that 2-page songs start on the left side, etc. Different environments, so I've just had to repurpose.
So before we go on, Margaret Brown says, I can't wait to get the books, and Margaret and Navan, and
yeah, but I think it's important, Margaret, that people go and download the PDFs of the books and enjoy them in that environment. You can enjoy them on your phone. In fact, the great thing, if you use them on an Android phone, you can use an app called a PDF Reader, which will allow you to auto scroll. So you can you can control the speed of the auto scroll. You can set up a night rate. It's just not, and sadly isn't available on any app in the iOS store. So that's why we're limited to some degree what we do. But do that anyway. And the books are there, guys. Not that we're neither trying to hold on to them or whatever. But the one thing about the books, these don't date. These books are going to be around
Forever,
a long time.
after us.
I mean, well, no, I mean that was the reason we wanted it last. These books at last. We had enough of loose bits of paper everywhere, so it's been.
So I'd like to say hello to my sister Breeze McLaughlin in Cleggan. She's cocooning in Cleggan, outside of Clifton in County Galway, and you're welcome here tonight, Breeze.
So I hope you join in, Breach. Okay, just think of yourself out beside the sea there in Cleggan. Okay, capo position 3, folks, right?
3, okay, let's get 3 then. 3 here.
As I walk by the dockside one evening so fair, to view the still water and take the salt air, I heard an old fisherman singing his song. Won't you take me away, boys, my time is not long. Wrap me up in my old skins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me how, shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mate. I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place I've heard tell, where fishermen go when they don't go to hell, where skies are all clear and the dolphins do play, and the Gold Coast of Greenland is far, far away. Wrap me up in my oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me how, shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green, where there's always a breeze and there's never a gale, and the fish jump on board with a swish in their tail. And you lie at your leisure, there's nothing to do, and the captain's below making tea for the crew. Wrap me up in my oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me how, shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now, when you get to the dock and the long trip is through, there's pubs and there's clubs and there's lassies there too. And the girls are all pretty, the beer it is free, there's bottles of rum growing from every tree. Wrap me up, whoops.
Okay,
Wrap me up in my oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me how, shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. I don't want a harp nor a halo, not me. Just give me a ship from the stiff rolling sea. I'll play me old squeeze box as we roll along, with the wind in my rigging still singing this song. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me how, shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mate, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Okay, I was just as I was singing that song, I was thinking of a conversation I had with a neighbour up the road, John Burke, a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that a number of weeks ago he was out fishing on a trawler 300 miles south west of Ireland. So you can imagine, if we just look at the map of the world and just look at where little Ireland is again, for those not from Ireland or even the side of the Atlantic, you can just see little Ireland out there. So if you think of Ireland as being 370 miles long, and you just go down and you say 300 miles out, you can see it's on that shelf out somewhere beyond that shelf there, which I presume is the continental shelf. So it's deep sea fishing. But they were out there about 4 weeks ago, and they actually heard the stream, and it was just saying, surprisingly, as against the past, they now have access to a lot of this info stuff with domes, etc., for satellites. They were able to listen to it. But I'm singing that song really for all the fishermen out there all over the world who, I mean, their lives are real hard. Like, it's not like, I can tell you, it's not sitting at your leisure with nothing to do and the captain's below making tea for the crew. Certainly in the days with the whale fishing boats, I was reading the history of some of them, and these guys were burning 8,000 to 9,000 calories a day. Think about it, 8,000 to
really hard work.
Even a fat fella like me wouldn't last for a week on a boat like that.
You know nothing about fishing at all.
I know that, but if I was able to burn 9,000 calories a day, I'd be eating horses and everything. I'd be eating the other fishermen to stay alive.
So Natalie's only concern is that she's here with us, that she hasn't missed Galway Girl.
Okay, that's great. So we're going to go actually. Well, the next song we're doing is Fields of Gold. So this is our second of our third song. And maybe tomorrow night we might start a couple of new songs as well. And again, the idea is to build up a repertoire, a repository of songs that you feel you're able to sing and have a go at. And if when all of this is over, people meet up with other people that they've met for various reasons, and you're going to have copies of the books and soft copy, and you can share them, and hopefully it'll create a lasting environment of shared music and song, because we just know how positive the mental effect of having a few songs is. So Fields of Gold anyway. Capo position 2.
2, okay, 2 then.
You'll remember me when the western wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in its jealous sky as we walk in fields of gold. So she took her love for decades a while upon the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold. Will you stay with me? Will you be my love among the fields of barley? You can tell the sun in its jealous sky as we lie in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. See the west wind move like a lover's soul upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. I never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. Many years have passed since those summer days among the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down, as you lie in fields of gold. I never made promises lightly. There have been some that I've broken, but I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold. You'll remember me when the west wind moves upon the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in its jealous sky as we walked in fields of gold. When we walked in fields of gold. When we walked Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to have the last of our three, as we call them, the learning songs tonight, is the Galway Girl. All right, so let's get ready. We'll just have a look at that. And again, there are two aspects to this song. One is the song itself and singing it, and then as we discussed the issue of singing it in an appropriate key that suits your voice. So I think like so just the Galway Girl, isn't it? So we have it there. So that song is in the key of D, and we'll try and sing that first, but again, particularly tonight my voice is very scratchy at up that end. We'll sing it first in the key of D, and then we'll just talk about how to change it back down to the key of C and do that. And hopefully some of this is, you know, people are picking up the flexibility that the capo brings and the ability to change the chords in a song to a key that suits you. So a lot of songs that you sing initially, if you tried to sing songs, the song would be nice to try maybe later on, Father and Son by Cat Stevens, because we saw a video of this morning of him performing this more recently, quite recently in fact.
Chile, was it?
Well, no, that was in 2015, but the one I saw him performing it relatively recently now, and he doesn't, when we see it, there's a whole issue there of pitch change and octave changes, but people modify songs to to adjust to how their voices are at different points in their life. So we'll play this open in the key of D.
Before we go on, we'll just say a few things about this. Never realised this beautiful song was written by Sting in 1993. That's music and lyrics are beautiful. That's Nancy in Nashville. Paul Brady, Lee McGowan, you might touch base with me when you get a chance.
Hiya, Paul. Yeah, I'll do that, Paul, when I'll send you a messenger. We'll have a chat, okay? I hope you have... I know you're practicing with your guitar. I hope you're practicing some of it at this stage. I know it's very hard to play a guitar as you're jumping out of a plane in a parachute and use your camera at the same time, but you are a man of many talents, Paul. I have no doubt that a young man like you could still do this.
This song, by the way, is for Anya Newrock, comes originally from Salthill, and Breach McLaughlin, who is from Galway as well, from Clifton.
So you'll see when we sing this, will be a bit stretched, but we'll try it again and see. So anyway, play it as it is indeed. And Nancy, I didn't know Nancy Hosel. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Sting had written that song. I'd seen him perform it. I just presumed that, again, Eva Cassidy or something like that. But isn't it interesting sometimes when we go back and we associate songs to people and realize someone else wrote them. Anyway, this song was by Steve Earle. Mary told me last night he
7 times.
married a Galway girl.
No, he didn't marry her.
She told us last night he did.
I did, but I was wrong. He didn't actually marry that girl. He went on to marry somebody else twice. She was
only 1 in 7.
He was married 7 times, I mentioned. The guys can't get over that.
Well, I took a stroll on an old long walk on a day. I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. Salt Hill prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came in on a day. She asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. Taking the world round the Salt Hill prom with a Galway girl. Oh, when I woke up, I was all alone on a day with a broken heart and a ticket home on a fine soft day. I asked me, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause your hair was black and your eyes were blue. I've traveled around, been all over this world, but I ain't seen nothing like a Galway girl.
Leon O'Rourke, he was twirling around the prom. Yeah.
Anyway, so again, as part of the idea of learning and looking back at it and how could you improve that, I find that song high for me in the key in which it's pitched. And so, and as a result of it, it wouldn't attract me to singing the song. If you don't enjoy singing a song, it becomes pressurized for you, you won't enjoy it. There's nothing like finding a pitch in a song, wherever it is and whatever the song is. And if you like how, and ultimately, like if you like how you sound to yourself, you know, you'll be on your own long enough. So get used to your own voice and like it rather than worrying about what other people think of your voice. But so we were talking about how to change the chords and that. So I'm going to drop that 2 semitones down somewhat lower into the key of C. And how we'll do it in real time is just by taking every chord, and the chords are what's contained that are bold and in the italicized square brackets. And you take every one of those letters and you step it back one in the musical alphabet. So a D becomes a C, a G becomes an F, an A becomes a G, and a B minor, as in the second verse, becomes an A minor. And I suggested over the last number of days that you might find a different way. If you had the hard copy, you might write those chords in pencil, or you might have a little piece of note paper, something you might put in, or if you know how to annotate PDF documents, you can do that as well. Or, as Mary and I have learned to do, is just do it in real time as you're going along. And the real important thing is, if you practice just doing this in real time, it will serve you well. I think Mary's is testament to that fact that she wouldn't have been able to do this early on, but she finds it a lot easier once she locks into what the chord numbers are. Like the chords in this, the key of C are always going to be C, F and G and an A minor. That's where you're at. So we'll try it again in the key of C. You know, so it's somewhat lower, right?
This time it's for the girls. Breathe and on you, okay?
Well, I took a stroll on an old long walk on a day. I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to love? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a twirl around the Saltail prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down on a day. She asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a twirl around the Saltail prom with a Galway girl. Oh, when I woke up I was all alone on a day with a broken heart and a ticket home on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause your hair was black and her eyes were blue. I've traveled around, I've been all over this world, but I ain't seen nothing like a Galway girl. Girl, I ain't seen nothing like a Galway girl.
That's much better. It's much less forced, isn't it?
Yeah, so again, what we're saying is that in the idea of having a sing-song and enjoying yourself, often I can remember you go out to a sing-song and ask them to play a song or something like that, and they pick a note out of their head and they start. And the problem is, if you start halfway up the stairs and you get to the top, there's nowhere else to go. And if you're halfway down the stairs and you're heading down below and you hit the bottom and there's nowhere else to go, and that's okay. And the great thing within a sing-song, and somebody can half sing a song and then go back and try again, that's the way we should be. But if over this period of months and months or whatever you're going to be doing this, you get a feel for, hey, I like doing this in a particular key, then go for it. So I just see Olive Murphy from Dundalk join us. How are you, Olive? So Olive is a wonderful fiddler and the leader of a guide to a group called Gale Force, I think. Is it Salesforce? I keep mixing up with Salesforce, the commercial. You tell me there, will you tell me what it is, Olive, Galesforce? But
I had communication with Olive earlier today, and I sent her the instructions as how to get on.
all right, super.
So,
and I hope you get the download the PDF of the book. But Olive is a fiddler, and I used to go along to a Wednesday night again learning session that she held in a pub in Dundalk there on a Wednesday evening with lovely people. I tried to play the mandolin. There's a couple of us, Eamon Matthews, and a couple of other guys played mandolins. A lot of fiddlers there. Difficulty for me is fiddles are very, as you know, Olive, they're very strong compared to a mandolin. It's very hard to hear your own mandolin against it. But wonderful, wonderful experience. And again, very generous people. A whole generosity of spirit which comes from a group activity. But I know from then they've gone from strength to strength. And I watched some Facebook videos at Christmas of you performing in the old folks' home, etc.
She said we can join them at some night of her.
Scale force, that's what it is. I'm not sure what the word scale, why it comes from, Olive. But again, actually, it's interesting in terms of this. We've just come through a section there, Olive, of doing 3 songs: Fiddler's Green, Fields of Gold, and Galway Girl, and we do them every night. That's how Olive would have run her sessions. We would take certain songs that we were working on, other songs we were somewhat better at, and then she'd go around, everybody get a chance to perform something. So, but I went down to Olive's house in Dundalk a number of years ago one day, and she kindly recorded the songs for me, but this was playing tunes on a fiddle, idle. What do you call it? Lucy Barr's Farm Dance. Just if I can remember, or do shoot a donkey. But she played them for me fast, and then she played them for me slow. And what I did is I went back and created videos where I put the actual notes up on the screen, and you could see the notes and play along at the same time, with the idea of it being a reusable learning object. And I burned a number of copies off for CDs, because I felt with the people who were there on a Wednesday night, in between the Wednesdays, what do you do to practice? And so this process that we're involved in very much lends itself to the same possibility. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the start of the book, because just to explain, we'll see if there's one of the songs here.
Like All Around My House now?
Well, no, can I just take this another Saturday night? And the reason I'll do this is because, so another Saturday night, I just want to show you what it was like in the previous edition that we were working on, and it'll give you a sense of, and again, because we're going to be doing this over an extended period of time, I think it's absolutely worth another and so it's ANOT, another Saturday. So you see there, that's the width of the song. So if that's as big as I can make it, and then it starts to run out of space on the right hand side. The other thing is there's a chorus up at the top. And the problem is when I'm down here in the third verse, I have to wind it back to get to the chorus in between each verse. And I'm doing this, which, well, that's not really what I was trying to do there. But so again, you're just looking at a screen capture of my iPad. So I suppose that the objective of the upgrade is to do this. See the way I've moved words onto different lines. So, and then after every verse, the chorus flows naturally. So I'm just interested in what you think the experience is going to be like. The reason I'm doing this one is because the concert we were looking at earlier by Youssef, it's really, I understood when I was a young guy that Cat Stevens left the scene and he turned to religion and became he probably always was a Muslim, but he left all the whoring and touring behind him and became a Muslim, and he went away. But I just noticed he's selling himself now as Yusuf Cat Stevens, so he hasn't forgot the old cat, because that's what we all remember him as. But it showed him playing at a concert in Chile back in 2015, and he played Father and Son, which was beautiful. But he was asked to sing another song, and he sang this song. And it's interesting, so this song is not a Cat Stevens song, although it's on his original Tea for the Tillerman album, but and that's where I heard it first. But it's a song by
let's see,
one of the
Saturday night. Somebody will
the
tell
Ray
us.
Vaughan type of guys, Buddy Holly, one of those guys. And essentially just the last verse, it was just interesting, man, the last verse, what does he say? Sorry, hold on, he's in the last verse, he says, "It's hard on a fellow when he don't know his way around. If I don't find me a honey to help me spend my money, I'm going to have to blow this town." Now, what I heard him saying in 2015, he'd forgotten the honeys and he was just going to work for a fella for money or something. But all of the sexual innuendo, etc., had gone out with, I presume, his religious reformation, but the original song is what it was, you know. He didn't write it.
We need to go
All
on
right,
because we
Mary,
have to do the birthday song now in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you putting that on?
Well, do we have a...
Yeah, that sounds...
Another Saturday night and I ain't got no... Hold on, sorry guys, sorry. Another Saturday night. So again, sometimes I find it hard to know where to go with it, but I get it once I sing it. Right. Another... Playing it up. Another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money and I just got paid. How I wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful way. Got in town a month ago. God, I've seen a lot of girls since then. I could meet him, I could get him, but yet I haven't met him. That's why I'm in the state I'm in. Another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money cause I just got paid. How I wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful way. Another fella told me he had a sister who looked just fine. Said of being my deliverance, she had a stranger's heavens to a cat named Frankenstein. Another Saturday night and I ain't got no money. I got some money and I just got paid. How I wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful way. It's hard on a fella when he don't know his way around. If I don't find me a honey to help me spend the money, I'm gonna have to blow this town. Another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money and I just got paid. How I wish I had someone to talk to. I'm in an awful way. I'm in an awful way. No, sorry, just that's the first time I've tried that technique. I have a sense that I'd like to have your feedback about the screen in terms of what you can see. I think the problem is now there's too few words in the song so when I have to stop and move it forward, which is a good thing, it sort of interferes with whatever rhythm. I think Paul Brady has posted me something. Paul, I think if you're listening in, it'd be better if you posted that into the commentary on the stream, Paul, because it came across in front of me. Will I just see if I can see what it was saying there? Paul Brady, auto scrolling but the corners many times needed into a PDF. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to help me, Paul, there, create an auto scroll. Just want to say, I mean, if somebody can find me a breakthrough this, just remember, I'm working off an iPad, I'm working on iOS, I'm using the app, the Adobe Acrobat app within iOS. I can find absolutely no way whatsoever to do an auto scroll. I'm aware that I can do it on a PC, and it may be, at least I've been using my PC today, so it may well be that I can try and transfer this conversation into a PC. So anyway, look, it's just another iteration of a trial some way or other. I think maybe there's too much. I need to have them smaller like that there. Anyway, look, we'll keep experimenting with this and see how it goes. So we've come to 8 o'clock. So normally what we do at 8 o'clock for anybody who has a birthday or a celebration. So we'd like to, you know, in recognition of the event that people can't have their, you know, the big party scenes as they would have typically had. We're going to try and emulate something like that for each other.
This is for Peter Anderson. It's his birthday today. It was requested by...
Oh, thanks, Paul, by the way, for putting that in.
Yeah, it did. It was requested by Kathy Anderson, his wife. And we're very happy to sing happy birthday to Peter in 4 languages.
Okay, so we're playing this open again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday to you. Dobra on a cruise. Dobra on a cruise. Dobra, Father. might feel blue. Joyous anniversary, joyous anniversary, joyous anniversary, Peter. Joyous anniversary.
And we have to go straight into You Are My Sunshine, because that's the
So,
song they want
Peter,
to
again,
hear.
happy birthday, and to yourself and Kathy. And I know that from both feedback from yourselves and from your son Paul, how you enjoy watching this every evening, and it makes the effort, you know, like when you're doing this every evening for 90 minutes every evening, it's a bit like going to mass every day, if anybody ever remembers going to mass every day. But it is like, you know, it becomes a bit of a chore at times. But one of the things that, you know, keeps us, motivated around all this is when we get feedback from people of, you know, the fact that it's creating a healthy alternative space for people. I say, I didn't listen, I have no idea what the news said tonight, because I'm not going to change the news by listening to it. And listen to bingo numbers, like watching a number of many people die at this point. It's not like watching for lotto numbers. There's no sense or pleasure in it. So it's great to have this. We just get on with this and we enjoy it and do it. So it's You Are My. So the reason we're singing this particular song, as requested by Kathy for you, Peter, is that You Are My Sunshine. And the reason is because Kathy has pointed out to us that this song was sung at your wedding
3 times.
10 years ago. So you have a baby boy called Paul, who's 8.5 years of age. Okay, and but he eats like a 60-year-old horse. But anyway, you said this was played for you 3 times. So lovely, and we're delighted. And for everybody, I don't know anybody who has a birthday in the foreseeable future, but if you do, yeah, but you can.
Why have they cancelled them or something?
But yeah, so I say on your Rourke, not playing an instrument, but the screen was much clearer and easier to read my laptop. So look at all the time within a restricted environment, we're doing what we can in relation to it. But again, because of the fact, especially if somebody wants to enjoy the lyrics or reflect on them or learn them or whatever, because you can play these videos back again and again and again if you want to learn the songs.
Before we go on to this, Margaret Brown from Navan said she wants to go work on the boats so that she can lose 9,000 calories every day. She just keeps finding them. Okay.
When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. You hold on, just sing. The other, so we played in capo position too. Okay, mm-hmm. So Kathy and Peter, I hope this brings back fond memories for you. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you. Skies are gray. You'll never know, dear. my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Wouldn't it be nice to do that as a learning song too, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
So how are you, Brian Jones? So Brian is somewhere in England, I presume somewhere in the North London area. So North London, tell us where you are, Brian. So Brian used to work with us back in the day, back in Parental Quality Dundalk, a gentleman with enormous sympathy and empathy for people who call in very distraught people. So Brian's a lovely guy. He's got one problem. Well, probably a number of problems, but the one problem that really is difficult to cope with is that he's a Charlton supporter.
Charlton.
Charlton. I don't mean Bobby Charlton.
No,
I mean Charlton.
Football.
Charlton Football Club. I mean, imagine sitting there saying Charlton are going to win the European Champions League.
Liverpool, my
You know?
team. My team.
But the one thing, Paul, that's what, or Brian, that's what loyalty is. When you keep hanging on to a team like Charlton and you believe, that's important. And anyway, now that the whole world of Premiership football has fallen apart, and maybe when they get back out, and Paul Pogba starts to work for what he's really worth, which is a workman's wages, you might end up having a whole flattening, and people might play football for fun again. Imagine people playing football for fun, and that where diving would be reserved for swimmers, and crying on the pitch would be for babies, and the rest of them would just get on and play football for fun. Raoul, you could come back into your own as a little Brazilian there. You could do
he's
the
going
business,
to be the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister of Brazil.
The Prime Minister of
We're
England,
going to sing
or
Remember
Canada.
Me, Fergus. I haven't forgotten you. So I think Remember Me, Remember Me, Remember Me. So where is Remember Me?
Lucia Gallagher. Tell us how you're doing there, Lucia.
Let's see if which book this is in. I'm not sure if it's in book
I
one or
think
two.
it might be to Remember Me. Lucia, tell us how you're getting on down there on the Trim Road out of Enfield. So we can all come there for the tea next time we're there.
No, so it must be in the second book. So I just switched. I switched to different books to find a song again for those who are just fairly new to it. Just click on the index on every page. It brings you back to the A to Z listing, and you just run through your A to Z lister, and there you are. You get Remember
Here's what
Me.
on in New York says.
So,
nothing wrong with Charlton. Let's see. Teresa Laverty is here from
It's not
Ballygall.
there's anything wrong with Charlton, but supporting them. Come on.
No.
So just to explain again for the book, and sometimes you'll see a double entry in the book, and it's not, and maybe an error, but it's not an oversight, if you know what I mean. It's placed in there in two keys, one on the key of C and one on the key of G. And just remember that the key of G, if you just go from C to G, you go C, C sharp to C, C sharp. Count them on your finger. C to C sharp is 1, to D is 2, to D sharp is 3, to E is 4, to F is 5, to F sharp is 6, and to C is 7. So it's semi-half tones away. So it's half an octave away from C. So in terms of being able to use the capo to bridge over the positions, using a capo you can easily sing in C, D, E, and maybe even up to F at 5 positions up in the capo. And singing in G, you can basically go from G to A, that's 2 up in the capo, 2 more brings you up to B, and then up to C. So these really were about covering all the ranges of pitches that you might sing them in. I don't know what we're supposed to be singing, we haven't sang this in a while, but it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Can't remember, Fergus, you asked us to sing it, you probably know a little bit about it, tell us. Not sure even where I heard it, but there's 2 particular young women from their sisters who I've seen sing this on YouTube, and it may actually be on that particular one. Oh, it's a Christy Hennessy song, I think you might have said earlier. But the 2 women sing it, they sing it absolutely magically, you know. And whether we can remember to sing this wrong, I don't know. Open. Remember me whenever you are blue. Remember me when there's no one home. Remember me, and I will be with you. Remember me whenever you're afraid, and when you lose your dreams along the way. Anytime you feel like you can't make it through, remember me, and I will be with you. Every night and every day I'll be by your side. Just reach out and take my hand, I will be your guide. And anytime you feel like you can't make it through, remember me, and I will be with you. Remember me whenever you're afraid. Remember me if there's someone in my place. Anytime you feel like you can't make it through, remember me, and I will be with you. Every night and every day I'll be by your side. Just reach out and take my hand, I will be your guide. And anytime you feel like you can't make it through, remember me, and I will be with you. Remember me whenever you're afraid. Remember me if there's someone in my place. Anytime you feel like you can't make it through, remember me, and I will be with you. Remember me, and I will be with you.
Now,
Fergus, a beautiful choice.
Fergus, you can tell us what
The Gribben Girls, isn't that it? That's it, Joe Kane. I think that's who it is, the Gribben Girls.
Yeah.
As far as I can remember, they might have been playing at 5 positions up on the campo in one of those keys, but they're absolutely two fabulous voices together. But aren't there magical sentiments and thoughts for this period of, you know, when so many people are isolated, some alone or some in maybe with one person with them or whatever, but most of all at times feeling that, you know, we can't, even if there's nowhere to go, you feel you can't go anywhere. And I just, that whole idea of using music to pull up in your mind thoughts of earlier times in your life, because you can, you know, just like you can turn on television, like it's like Christy Moore talking about when he's singing songs, he'd close his eyes and he'd paint a picture on the inside of his eyelids. So I was thinking of wearing a pair of glasses with little pictures on the inside. They could do that. If I could get Google Glass, I'd never talk to anybody again.
Fergus says, lovely song, thank you. And it is a lovely song.
Yeah, gorgeous.
You know,
and,
the other one that brings to mind is the one about Ellis Island, you know, the girl Annie Moore from Ireland. You know that one?
we could do that.
What about Ride On first? Will we do
Right,
that?
we'll do Ride On, then Ride On Road.
for Raoul.
So Raoul, we'll play Ride On for you if we could, just so we get it here.
Oh, Marion McFadden, how are you? Had you been here earlier, we could have dedicated Galway Girl to you, along with Bridge McLaughlin and Anya New York.
So,
Lucia says, anytime you're passing the kettle is on.
lovely. Right
That's
on.
lovely.
So Ride On. Okay. So again, as we go through the songs, you get to see so many lovely songs that that are lovely to sing, you know.
We might even come up to Drummondine for the cup of tea, Fergus, and we could sing that song for you there. Right on. Open.
This is my friend Raoul in Sao Paulo in Brazil, Sao Paulo. We had hoped that we'd come together and we'd meet again this year in West Donegal, but that'll just put a delay on that. And I say he might be Prime Minister of some country by the time he comes back.
Could be Canada, maybe.
Raoul is pursuing his PhD with the research question of lies and trauma. So I told him I have a bucket full of material for you, Raoul. You know, I could just fill buckets and buckets and buckets with the lies Mary tells me and the trauma I suffer as a result of it.
Yeah, the trauma I suffer. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Raoul, the trauma I suffer? So we've already
fascinating topic, fascinating.
So now, just to say something, Joe Kane says, remember me used to be on the RIP.ie website. Yeah, that's nice to say, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again, for those who've passed on and whatever, you know, one can still evoke very motivating in one's life that there was a connection of whatever it is with parents or friends or family or whatever. And so if one does, I mean, there's enough sadness around us on a constant and daily basis. Nice to pick something positive out of it, you know.
On your new work, just to say that Marion McFadden originally comes from Moycullenway.
Right, we're playing this open.
Yeah.
Through your eye, the finest horse I have ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, eyes wide and green. Ride a horse so well, hands light to the touch. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Wanted to ride on sea. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to ride on sea. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. When you ride into the night without a trace behind, run the claw along, my good one last time. Turn to face an empty space where once you used to lie, and look for the spark that lights the night through a teardrop in my eye. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to.
Yep.
Let's try that song again, 3 up. It's a lovely low song, but I like singing that song low, me personally, but only if you're not trying to sing to anybody else, because then you can just explore the lower end of your register. But I think as equally that might sound, I'm just pitching 3 up, that's 3 semitones up is a lot. Let's try this one. Capo and 3. Through your eye, the finest horse I have ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes wild and green. Ride a horse so well, hands light to the touch. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to.
What to do?
Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how but
One last time.
I turn to face an empty space where you used to lie, and look for a spark that lights the light through the teardrop in my eye. Right on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanna do. Right on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. So there's an example of us of singing the song, you know, 3 semitones apart. Just seemed, we might write that down. We'll just write it in 3, Mary. So we note that down. 'Cause a lot of time,
Where's that?
right on. It's in book 1, and
Page.
well, it won't be on this. The pages are different in this modified version. But
Right.
and you know the whole thing about this is to experiment with this. It's just, I've got a note here from Dave Kelly saying things got a bit of trouble with the internet breaking up all the time. So again, and to let you know that in the event that any night, now it hasn't, the internet, the stream has not dropped out on us again tonight for the 3rd or 4th night in a row. There was no problem twice before then. Our sense is if the stream drops out, we will reset the stream and it'll start again on the Facebook page. Otherwise, if you're having a bad experience of a night, I know how frustrating that is, it's desperate. And that's just the way we've got a strained internet at the moment, not us, everybody, because of the congestion, especially this hour of the evening. You can always come back later, maybe listen along, especially if you enjoy playing the songs. Somebody asked for Raglan Road. I think it was, who was it? Was it Nancy, no?
Yeah, yes it was. Nancy in Nashville. Nancy
Right, so we're going to do Raglan Road. Lovely, again, beautiful song.
There's Fergus too, he has the cups of tea out ready for us.
All right.
Thanks, Fergus.
Lovely. And
If you come
I
up
think
this
it's
way, you
on
can have my
Raglan
brown
Road.
bread.
Well, I mean, the wonderful thing, just thing is part of in Remember Me Too and talking about dreams. I read a good piece of advice there. I think it came from Susan, I think, one of Antoinette's friends in California, and it was sort of circles of wisdom in terms of how to adapt to periods of strain and anxiety and incarceration and cocooning and all the rest.
Susan Wills.
And it was sort of on Raglan Road, but it related to living in the now and dreaming of the future in an aspirational sense. Thought that was really good advice. So, you know, set yourself to dream that someday you will, whatever, and just go for it. Sure, if you never get there, at least you'll be looking upwards. Orson, what is it? Oscar Wilde once said. He said there's only one thing worse than lying in the gutter and looking up in the sky, and that's when you lie in the gutter and you turn into the gutter. So maybe all you can do is sometimes look it up at the sky, but it certainly is a lot better than looking into the bleakness, you know. Send some potential solutions to the Meitheal Ceol. Excellent, Paul. I appreciate that. And I'll talk to you in detail about it. Be delighted. I mean, again, Paul Brady carries all those talents of one of my best ex-students he was the best student before he ever got near me in his own right. But if somebody can help in any way us improve the quality of what we're doing, you can't do much to improve the quality of our voices and whatever, and our dispositions and all the rest. But if there's any practical way, I mean, we're working, you know, at the end of the day, we're working on a shoestring within a limitation of this is not exactly a live stream in the room, but a session in the room. But that someday Mary and I will share with you a dream that we've had. If you go to the trouble, by the way, in these books, just to say at the start of these books, you will have a bit of time, but there are a number of pages in the introduction of both of the books which explain the philosophy which was involved in the discussions that took place with us around 2017, driving around in a motorhome along the Wild Atlantic Way and meeting various people and singing with them. The thoughts that emerged really had to do with the idea that imagine if a community of interest throughout the world or whatever emerged where there was a sort of common template of songs, and that as you arrived in different places, you could have a common connection with people. So do you want to have a meet-up just to play a few songs? And at the time, we'd be getting together with people who had different words and different songs and loose sheets of paper. It's very hard to get any rhythm and cadence going. And that's what this was about. And in some way, we're now doing that, even though it's in a virtual space. In our travels as we move around, it's a lovely way of passing time if we meet people. So if people have ideas.
Just what Margaret Brown said to me today, it's great and you're wonderful and so on that you're doing this. But I said it's, again, and I say it all the time, it's everybody out there, all of you out there who make this, because without you, we most probably wouldn't still be here tonight. So you keep us going, and it's, I suppose it puts a bit of structure on our day as well. And Liam and I, we always feel good after we've done it, you know. And we've made lots of new friends.
The idea, look at it, this is, you know, I keep thinking it's a no-brainer. I mean, music is good for the soul, that's a fact. That's why people were making music before they were speaking, you know, and they didn't need to have the colonisation of an imperialist world, whatever country to organise their singing. They were able to do it on their own.
And Natalie has got a beady eye. You got a beady eye, Natalie. As you were scrolling.
No, I saw that, Natalie. I just wrote it down there, points to point. I'd love to do that. We do that after this.
So
let's
first
get on
of all,
with Raglan Road.
Ray Byrne says,
right.
we will, yeah. For real football, go to Oriel Park in Dundalk.
We're playing this open, guys.
Yeah.
On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew the turn our care would lead us there, the time I'd one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a foreign lead from the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we tripped lightly along the lane of a deeper ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making turn, and me not making hay. Oh, I love too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artists who have known the true gods of sound and stone, and words and tint, oh without tint, I gave her poems to say, with her own name there and her own dark hair, like clouds over field of May. On a quiet street where old oaks meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow. And I in love, not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he loses his wings at the dawn of day. When the angel woos the clay, he loses his wings at the dawn of day. Lovely, lovely, lovely song. So what Natalie pointed out was then, that's interesting. I presume, Natalie, as you saw, you know, the great thing for us, even in, just again to explain what our music, what the essence, the sort of, the, let's say, the physical representation of this musical Meitheal Ceol shared experiences of a group of people, men and women, who get together and gather in the men's shed, Sciobán Levaran in Guido in West Donegal on the Wild Atlantic Way, traditionally every Wednesday night from 7 to 10 right throughout the year. And sitting around a table over cups of tea and biscuits, which we'd all throw a few euro in to pay for. We would just go around the room one after the other, whether there were 6 or 16 people there. We'd take turns to choose songs out of these books. You nominate a song out of the book and we all sing it together. And as we're going along on the night, it's amazing as you're as you're waiting your turn, you're looking, then there comes your turn, says your song, and you're going through the book, and then you see, oh, there's a song. And you might be intended to sing one song, or there's another song, and we'll do that instead. And it's a wonderful experience that there's so many different songs there. So I think I think Natalie was saying that as we were going through that, we passed a song called, it's just coming to me
Point
now.
of Rescue.
It would up here, Past the Point of Rescue. And so look, we'll try that. I just want to see where we'll see what it is.
First of all, James McCall is here. James McCall is watching.
Hiya, James. A man from up in the hills. A hill man from up in the hills. I hope you have fairly reasonable, decent internet, James. I'm delighted that you joined us. Hope you enjoy singing in a few songs, because that's what it's all about.
Nancy says thanks for that.
Holding me tight again. I just wondered if it'd be a little bit. Hold on. Last night I dreamed you were back again. So we'll try that in capo position too. So I don't know, Natalie, where you might have heard that song. For me, and again, I'd like other people to chip in here. There are two aspects. The song I first heard being sung by, I'm not sure if it was Mary Black I heard sing it first. It may have also been Mick Hanley sing it, I'm not sure. But then I discovered, I think it was written by a guy called Hal Ketchum. He's an American country singer, and Mary and I saw him then one night in the Olympia Theatre in Dublin, which is a lovely semicircular old style theatre, fantastic acoustics in it. Boy, did he play this song magic. Wasn't it just magical song. So anyway, let's enjoy the song. It's on capo position too, right? Last night I dreamed you were back again, larger than life again, holding me tight again, placing those same kisses on my brow, sweeter than ever now. Lord, I remember how couldn't get enough of kissing. Do you know how much I'm missing? No, you don't, but I do. Days like the slow train trickle by, even the words that I write refuse to find. All that I can hear is your song haunting me, can't get the melody out of my head, you see. Distraction I've been using. Do you know how much I'm losing? No, you don't, but I do, but I do. And I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. It's no word from you at all, the best that you can do. Never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. I swore I'd never fall like this again. Fool like me never win. Came to my knees again. Can't close the door on the likelihood things might be just as good. I always believed they would. Gotta let your love invite me. Baby, do you think it might be? No, you don't, but I do. But I do, and I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. It's no word from you at all, the best that you can do. Never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. But I do, and I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. It's no word from you at all, the best that you can do. Never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do.
Okay.
So Natalie and the rest, I hope you like that song. And if it shows me anything, just will you mark down position 2 on that, will you?
Written by Mick Hanley, recorded in the USA by Hal Ketchum.
Yeah.
And
so
Trisha Doherty is with us. Hello, Trish. What page is that?
It's on, I'm not sure. You'll have to just...
Past the point of rescue.
It's on, I just noted here, it's on 2. And Remember Me was on... What do we have Remember Me on? Forgot to put that in there. So what is it? It's 2040. We'll do another song. Actually, Mary mentioned the Cottager's Reply.
Yeah,
because it's a wee bit of a story to go along with that.
Yeah.
So I'll just pull up the words of the Cottager's Reply when Mary's just getting organised there. And just to say, so this we think is a lovely, lovely song. Based in the words will tell us where it's based in England.
Was that on 2 we had that, or 3 2?
On 2, yeah.
Okay.
So the Cottager's Reply. So and you just when you need to look up the Cottager's Reply to see where we bet and see or we've it marked in there. So, but it's about so it's a story, I suppose. The story of in the Cotswolds in England of essentially city people with lots of money just feeling they could come in and buy out the place. And I suppose the story of, well, certainly a lot of the west of Ireland around Connemara where Mary's from, the whole idea of outsiders just coming in, Germans like you, Natalie, coming in. When I was a young guy, certainly a lot of people from Germany that were coming in and buying the land because you could buy it cheap in Ireland at the time.
We don't have. Yeah, we have it on 4 and C.
So we're going to be playing. We think we're playing it in the version of C in capital position 4. So Mary, do you want to talk a bit beforehand, or do you want to wait till we finished?
I think we might. Yeah, I did. I looked it up there today.
So we'll sing the song first, and Mary can, because that gives a bit of context, and maybe have a look at what Mary has to say about the song. Is that okay?
We're going to sing it first.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Capo position 4.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now
500,000 English pounds for this old house and a piece of ground. You and your wife have always planned to settle down in Cotswold land. Well, you best come in and you best sit down. It's such a long drive from London town. Would you like some tea now while I tell the reasons why I will not sound? This stone-built house that you call nice was gained at far too high a price for me to gaily sign away what others toil for night and day. They hammered loose down by the yard, and they found the rent when times were hard, and they fainted and died beneath the sun, tending the fields you're gazing on. Well, they're all gone, but as for me, the wild hair still runs just as free, and the dust of badger travels still, ancestral highways on the hill. I am as Cotswold bred as thee, and I still need these fields and trees, and I need the soil that bore my race, and hold their bones beneath this place. You'll say you'll pay 500 grand for this old house and a piece of land. Well, London's about 4 hours for me, but in your 4x4 you'll do it in 3.
lovely.
That's it's the wrong. We're singing too low.
Yes, far too low, yeah. Do you want to try one
Well, I
first?
don't know how we managed to get it in there. You just have a look there and explain what you're going to
So what I want to say about the Cottager's reply, it is actually, it's from a poem that was put to music by Chris Wood. It's on the album Trespasser. So the poet who wrote it was called Frank Mansell, and it was originally called By the Field. He was a Cotswolds poet. He wrote a book of poetry called Cotswolds Description. He was born in 1918 in Bisley in north of the Cotswolds, and he died in 1979, and he was the last of a big farming family. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I'd be unhappy now. Just to say again, as part of a reflection on what we're doing. No matter how bad we are, you can be better than you were at times. And I tried to sing that song the other day. I was trying to, and I couldn't work out what the best pitch to sing was in C and G. So that's a song I think we should come back to, because it is a beautiful song. I don't think we did justice to it because I just think it's a little bit low to project it onto a screen.
We did it before,
anyway,
though, and it was okay.
Yeah, but the problem is just to say the book, we don't have definitive chord or key positions or fret positions. We don't have them in the book, particularly for a reason, because the book is regarded and it's there as a flexible template for people to work with. And you know, it's a bit like building a house with Lego rooms that you can pull apart. You know, there's certain things you got to do and certain other things you got to do. So we got to work with it. So anyway, we've come to the end. You know, again, another night has flown by for us. You know, time is, you know, all of a sudden the time has gone by, and that's a wonderful, to me, reflection on the present era. We're not hanging around here waiting for the 46-8 at Dunleary. We're not waiting for them. We're just past the time here, and as usual, we're constantly behind ourselves, which is great.
So Nancy said about the last song, Past the Point of Rescue, she said we had to come to Ireland to hear it. We never heard it in the United States.
Yeah, so again, thanks everybody. See, Paul Griffin is there again, and Trish, lovely. And again, John Coyle has been there from the beginning with us. John, I hope things are well with you. I hope you're enjoying. I mean, John, I think increasingly, because he can play along and has been experimenting with different ways of harmonising with the guitar, etc. So it's lovely, and I hope he can practice somewhat, which I know John suffers from pulmonary restrictions, and so it's difficult for him to get a powerful voice in it. But I hope you can relax in your own place and just gently sing along and enjoy them, John.
Okay.
So we're finishing up capo position 4. Again, we're here every evening at 7 p.m. London, Greenwich Mean Time, Irish time or whatever, slightly a couple of hours behind that in Brazil and West Coast of America, and a couple of hours later on in the evening in Germany and France. So we'll kick away here, and pardon glass for everybody. Let's all sing along.
1, 2, 3, 4 here.
Of all the money that I spent, I've spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I did, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend, and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in the town that sorely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheeks and ruby lips, I own she has my heart beguiled. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all. So again, we've come to an end of another, for us, a very pleasant evening, and made all the more pleasant by the way, by the commentary, the enlivening commentary and a reflective commentary and nice memories and associations that people have. And we hope you like the mix of what we're trying to do here. Again, the purpose just behind us, the purpose is not really for us to become famous, okay? Or to win whatever you win, medals, Purple Hearts. You could win a gold medal in the Feis, all right, for fools. Imagine Mary said to me once, she said, in a village full of village idiots, you would be the village idiot. Now, she didn't say that.
I never said that.
She said that was, we heard that as a quote.
Shakespeare said that.
It wasn't, was it?
Yes, it was.
How do you know?
I know, because I know these things.
You could tell us, guys, if you think our hold
They'll
for
know,
tomorrow
no,
night.
they'll know.
But I think that's a
Look it
wonderful
up,
statement. It's not a lovely thing to say. Like, if you really find yourself in a position where you've had it, as Jack used to say to me, if you've exceeded your frustrations tolerance threshold with a clown, and you say, in a village full of village idiots, you'd be the village idiot. Because if such a person understood that they couldn't be the village idiot.
Well, here's another one. As you slide down the banister of life, I hope that the splinters are not facing the wrong way. Who said that now?
I don't know. I thought Mary was going to talk about the big thing at the end of the banisters on your way down. You can see it happening, and you're saying on the way past, hi everybody, going okay. So listen guys, good night and thanks everybody for being with us. I hope you enjoyed it. For people who haven't been with us before, I hope it's been a good exercise.
Please do come back again.
At the end of the day, come along. We'll be here as long as we're capable of doing this. We'll be here 7 o'clock every evening, and we hope we're going to pick up a couple of new songs. I think tomorrow night we'll kick on with a couple of more songs.
Well,
Saturday night we're going to have an omnibus edition. Mary thinks we have to have a committee meeting about this.
We have to have a committee meeting.
All
We'll have
right.
to ask Diego what he thinks about it. We'll have to.
Do a couple of barks.
Now, come
and
here.
a bar
I
of chocolate.
want to ask a question. So we have the last 3 songs and these 3 songs, but I cannot remember what the previous songs were. Do you remember what the previous songs were?
No, but we
the
have
learning
to.
song. Would somebody
Mary,
tell me? No.
You know, when we like our friend, who's our friend? Jeez, I'm thinking the guy who can remember everyone, but his name I can't remember.
If some of you know what those songs are, the first learning songs, Natalie will know anyway. Let
You
us
can
know.
ask St. Anthony, isn't that right?
St. Anthony.
St. Anthony's the guy, but he's not the guy I'm thinking about. The guy I'm thinking about is the fella they mentioned in the movie The Prestige. What do you call him? My friend, Mr. Fireball in Denver. The fella who's responsible, who invented the radio, and I don't mean Marconi. The fella who originally found the 3-phase motor, and I don't mean Seaman. I mean, what do you call my friend? Not Asimov. But anyway,
somebody there
I
will know,
can't remember.
obviously.
But what was
somebody
interesting
there will
about
know.
him is when he would lose anything, he simply he pressed a back step on his mind and worked his way back. So after about 1,000 steps back over a cup of tea, Mary's going to work out what we sang. Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. More songs, more crack, more stories. If you want to do a bit of confessions, just send them to Mary.
No, don't send them to me. Send them to Fergus.
And then she will moderate them and see what repentance you can suffer. Okay, all right, 500 lines, please.